Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We're getting back into Love Island series 11, and we are now on episode 20. Heart rate challenge. Oh, this will not be a good outcome in the slightest. And I didn't for one second think that the culprits who would have an issue would be the culprits that would have an issue. Like, seriously. Anyway, before we get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Anyway, let's get into this video, shall we? So Sean basically is on it for real, and Matilda loves it. I do wonder if it's going to wear thin this little boyish excitement that Sean seems to have. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if Sean is for real though, to be honest, because I don't know if he's in excitement land or he's kind of love bombing the hell out of Matilda for her not to go anywhere. So he's trying to show her the picture of this man that he is, and he may be something completely different when he gets on the outside world, but you know what, that remains to be seen. Anyway, Nicole is still going on about Kieran's body count, and I'm just like, my girl, you need to just calm it. Like, you seriously just, it's like every single episode this girl has a problem with Kieran in some shape or form, and I'm like, why are you with this man? And it's no wonder why you don't work out with your other people, because my god, if you were this nagging and moaning all the last time, I wouldn't be able to freaking stand it myself, to be fair. I'd have to say, do you know what, we'll be better off as just friends, because I can't do this. I can't do this. Every time you find something else about me that you obviously have an issue with, I can't keep doing this with you. Nah. So Joey, Sean and Grace are having this conversation about Connor, and Sean is literally running his mouth, and I'm like, my guy, don't you shut up. Why are you telling them what Connor said to you? So basically Sean is telling them of why Connor made the decision that he did. Now, Connor was already in the throes of going to speak to Grace to let her know why he made the decision that he did. He didn't need Sean to do that for him, but you know what? Sean's mouth gonna stop and run at the end of the day. So you see Grace chatting, so she took over the chatter to make it, you know, be known. Oh, I don't know why he's done that. I've told him completely that it's not going to happen between us two. And I'm like, no, you didn't, Grace. No, you didn't at all. You're just saving face with Joey now. So basically, Grace is sitting there, like, chatting. And you see Connor walk down and basically decide to grab Grace for a chat, because as they're chatting, Connor's walking. And I'm thinking, I wonder how much Connor heard at the end of the day. So Grace is trying to say that she told Connor how tight her and Joey were, but she didn't shut shit down with Connor in the slightest at all. And I think this is just par and parcel for Grace and the games that she's looking to play right now. So, as I said, Connor interrupts, goes and tells Grace the reasoning as to why he picked her. He explained it out fully straight away to her. So Grace said, basically, this is something that she needed to speak to Joey about, in terms of Connor believing, well, you both met as a holiday romance. It was kind of hot and heavy. It got back on the outside world, didn't work. What makes you think it's going to happen this time around? And Grace was saying that's the conversation she has to have with Joey. Did she shut Connor down? No, because she was meant to go and sit down and shut Connor down. That's what she was telling Joey she was going to do. She didn't shut Connor down on that point. So she sits there and talks about how she talks about how Joey and her were, how they'd met. Yes, it was hot and heavy. Yes, when they got back out in the outside world, the only reason why it didn't work was because she was busy, he was busy, and they didn't get to meet up, and it kind of fizzled out in that sense. But it didn't necessarily stop the feelings that they had with each other. Again, I'm waiting for the conversation where, you know, she's shutting Connor down fully and truly in terms of them being paired off. I mean, my words would have been like, I'm definitely locked down with Joey. And I'm sorry, Connor, but I should have made that clearer to you rather than you trying to pick me because you literally just banging against the brick wall. Did she do that? No, there was no back down in the slightest. So again, she didn't give him the message that she said that she said to Joey that she was going to give the message. Again, flags all over the place with this girl, all over the place. So now we have Harriet again harping on to Matilda about Jess. And I was just like, my girl, did you really think that Jess was going to let you win that easily? Come on now. Jess is all for the shenanigans and the fuckery and playing with you at the end of the day. That's what Jess is about. So Harriet basically gives eyes to Ronnie, like big on eyes, as him and Matilda are talking. So Ronnie goes over and says, like, what's the problem? So Matilda tells Ronnie exactly what had happened with the conversation with the girls and with Jess and what Jess said. And I have to give it to Ronnie because actually he did tell Jess that, you know what, there's nothing there for them to. He did let Jess down in that sense. He did everything, give her that closure that she was looking for. But at this point, when it comes to Harriet and Jess in this Ronnie situation, I think it's kind of pathetic, to be fair. So in her VC, Harriet's talking about how she saved Jess in terms of making sure that she didn't leave the villa because, you know, she wanted her there. And I was like, no. You wanted Tiffany to go. Harriet wanted Tiffany to go because she needed to have that straight plane to Ronnie. And if Tiffany was still there, she knew that there'd be a chance that Tiffany may change her mind or Ronnie would still make a play for her. So Harriet needed the competition out of the way, and she felt that Jess wasn't that much of a competition for Ronnie's affections because they hadn't spoke and they hadn't, like, you know, got back together in that scenario. So that's what Harriet was playing at. So then it comes to the daytime, and Joey is definitely making it known to Connor that, you know what, he's Grace's and Grace's is his at the end of the day. He needs to go have a talk with Grace because she's blowing smoke up his ass. Like, seriously, I can see something coming. Like, really see something coming. So Connor is definitely picking up what Joey's putting down, but we'll see how it goes. So Sean cooks Matilda breakfast. I'm like, that was sweet. Sean can be a lot, you know, like fully she'll be a lot. So Harriet decides that she's gonna go and find Jess and have a chat with Jess and let her know what she's feeling, right? So Jess keeps it real with her, and Jess tells Harriet that she needs to just be wary. And Harriet is saying that she is wary. I don't think she is at all. I really don't think she is at all, because she wants this man too much to be wary of any type of situation that this man could potentially put herself in. Harriet is completely always open to this man's bullshit, like to the words that he spews, and she just goes with it. So Connor talks about how he's gonna have to start swimming against the current, which is very, very true. Then we have Joey and Grace talking, and lo and behold, Grace is talking to Joey about their past and how it will go for them when they get back out, because she doesn't want to see the same issues arise again. I wonder why she's having that chat now. I do wonder why she's having that chat now. So they both decide that they're gonna go at their own pace and not put any pressure on it. I'm like, my guy, she still ain't cleared the air with Connor. Let's just put it out like that. But you know what, as they say, actions speak louder than words, and we'll see what happens there. So a text comes in, heart rate challenge, here we go. So you see Harriet having to warn Ronnie not to do anything stupid, and I thought, well, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, seriously, what is he going to do? And if you have to give him that warning, then you know there's something wrong already. Do you know what I mean? I says it's going to be full-on competitiveness between Jess and Harriet to get Ronnie's heart racing now. It will be. So here we go. So the girls are up first. Kieran is more worried about the aftermath, and I was like, you and me both, my friend, because trust me when I say the aftermath after this one, after the results are read, is gonna be boiling, like seriously boiling. So Harriet is out first, and I was like, well, she said she was a dancer, let's see what she's got. Harriet did her thing, I ain't gonna lie. And she looked good doing it, to be fair. And she even did the splits at the end, and the guys, all the guys, especially Ronnie, were beside themselves when she did the splits. Matilda was next, Sean was on it, and I was like, each and every one of them did this finger sucking, and I'm like, why are you sucking their fingers? You don't know where their fingers went before they went and did this challenge, if they had a shower beforehand, if they washed their hands. You know what I mean? I ain't sucking your finger if I don't know where it's been, love. Anyway, so she ended up getting up on Sean and she kissed him. Sean was sweating like a mad one. So Uma came out looking all ethereal in her white lingerie and her wings. Will, for me, I'm going to be honest, didn't look all that impressed. That his impression wasn't giving me, oh, I've got the hots for you sort of thing. So she ended up kissing Will, and it kind of gave lukewarm for me, even though he was very excited by her, so he says. Mimi came out, and why, sir? Mimi looked good. She did look good though. She did. AO liked it. So Grace came out. Joey was like, whoa. And Grace was sexy, I ain't gonna lie. She looked like a sexy cat. And that's what she would go for, Catwoman. But it was all sequined and part mesh and part see-through. She did look good with the mask on top as well. So Nicole came out and Kieran was hyped to hell and back. Nicole was sexy in what she did, you know. But we'll see what happens next. So Jess comes out and I thought, oh shit, here comes trouble, because she was in some dominatrix kind of gear. She did look good too. And she ended up licking Ronnie's neck, sucked his ear, and then said to him, you fucking wish. And I was like, oh, well, damn. She threw down the gauntlet then. You could see Harriet from the terrace not liking Jess in the ounce being over Ronnie in the way that she did. And my thing is if you don't trust this man now, love, you will never trust this man. So I don't know why you keep hetting yourself up every time Jess and Ronnie are in near vicinity of each other, because at the end of the day, if Ronnie's going to go for Jess and Jess is going to go for Ronnie, it's going to happen regardless. So it's the lad's turn, and Kieran came out first, and I thought, oh, okay, somebody's asked for Bob the Builder with rip-off trousers. Had to give it to him. He have to give it to Gloria, and he did give it to them. He did. So Connor came out. He looked good, ain't gonna lie. And Grace looked like she was very loving it. She was loving the way Connor was moving those hips, because man could move those hips. I was like, I wonder if Joey's gonna be able to like literally beat the grace and toneness of Connor, because I don't think he will, because Connor was doing his thing. It wouldn't surprise me if Connor was a little bit of a strip artist in his previous days, to be honest with you. So Will, as the captain of the ship, I should say, Uma was definitely feeling it. It was so funny because Will could not get his trousers off. He couldn't get them to unclip when he was ripping them off, and he with his little short shorts. He picked up Uma and dry humped out, and I was like, okay, well, she loved it. Do you know what I mean? So Ronnie came out looking like a low budget biker. My man can't dance. Like, seriously, my man can't dance, and whatever was supposed to be happening at the front was not happening. That's all I'm going to say on that. He kept on lifting because he had a kerchief over his lap, or like a bandana stretched out over his lap, and he kept on lifting it, putting it over like the girl's face, and then kissing them or giving them a nibble. And I was like, I don't think this guy has any movements in his hips whatsoever, which does not bode well when it comes to, like, you know, the bedroom department. Let's just put it that way. Harriet did not like him doing anything to Jess at all. And then he ended up whispering back into Jess's ear, and you fucking wish, and they both started laughing. So now Jess and Ronnie have created an inside joke with each other, and Harriet ain't gonna like that, because that's gonna come to fruition at the end of the day. So then he went straight to Harriet, picked her up, bent her over the thing that they were sitting on, and kissed her. And Harriet was loving it, and some of the other girls was like, oh yeah, Harriet did his thing, including Jess. And I'm like, use like mediocrity, because that was hella mediocre. That was shit, to be fair. So AO comes out. He looked like a full-on pilot. Do you know what? That pilot suit fit him to a T. Let's just put it that way. Fit him. So he ended up taking off his clothes in quick succession. And for me, even with AO's performance, gave mediocre too, because all he did was put his foot over their shoulder on the seat, and then just kind of like dry hump the air in front of their face. It weren't giving much. Like, it wasn't giving much to me. So Joey looked like the king of castles. He looked like a budgie. I don't know what to say. Like, it was terrible. He had on a red cape, these red Batty Rider shorts, and this plastic grey crown on his head. It looked awful, to be fair. His was a disaster. I'm sorry, it really was. He rushed through it just to get to Grace, and it was still boring when he did Grace, and even Grace was like, yay, Joey did it. I'm like, no, stop bigging up mediocrity up in this place, please stop that, because it was not good at all. So Sean came out with candy all over his shorts and on his hat. He was funny though, like seriously, he was funny. He ended up picking Harriet, which was his best friend, and I was like, okay, and picking her up and like doing crouches with her on his lap, and I was like, okay, you did that thing. So then he fully swanned over into Matilda and got her on the floor and was kissing her while he was dry humping her with his sweetie pants on. I have to say, Sean did good, to be fair. He really did. He did. So now the results came in, and Ayol's heartbeat was raised by Mimi. I thought, it had to say her name after all the bullshit that had gone on between them. Connor's was raised by Matilda, and I was like, okay, that was surprising, but okay. Will's heartbeat was raised by Uma. Good. Sean's was raised the most by Jess. Sean was hella shocked by that, because it's like, how did that happen? Sometimes I think it is what the girls are wearing that sets the lads off first, because you're always going to have like a little preference in terms of if a girl dresses up for you and dances for you and that, there's going to be a certain kind of fantasy in your head that you like to see them in. So I think that kind of plays into it too, and this is why I say people shouldn't really take it too seriously, because it could be just down to what the girl was wearing that could raise their heartbeats at the end of the day. So Joey's heartbeat was raised most by Nicole. He was shocked by that. Joe was like, what? And I thought, it's because she sucked your finger, my guy. That's why. When it's sucking of the finger is a straight direct line down to your man's Jojo. So yeah, it's because she sucked your finger. Nicole was looking like her, and Grace and Kieran didn't like it at all. And I'm like, as you like to say, it's a game. It's a game. It don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? So Ronnie's was raised the most by Jess. Harriet didn't like that. Jess started laughing, and Ronnie turned around and said, you fucking wish. And I said, and they both then started laughing, and Harriet didn't like that even more, because you know what, now that's their inside joke, Harriet's going to be left out in the cold with that one. So Kieran was raised most by Grace. Nicole got upset to the point where her leg was shaking. That's how upset she got. And I'm like, my girl, come on now, seriously, you don't have to take it all seriously. So Kieran was trying to chat, and Nicole basically just shut him down, and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, sort of thing, because he's like, why are you getting mad now? So Nicole was literally going off on one. Again, another overreaction on Nicole's part. But I still think Nicole has that uneasiness, because remember, Kieran went and spoke to Nicole episodes ago, in terms of the beer pong challenge, and said that he wanted to kiss. He said that he wanted to kiss Grace. If he'd have picked a girl, he wanted to kiss Grace. So I think Nicole's literally playing back to that. But I'm like, you've moved on from that now. Come on now, for God's sake. At the end of the day, I'm surprised more man's heartbeats didn't beat for Grace's outfit, to be honest with you, because what she was wearing was hella good. I'm bearing in mind that, you know what, she did suck Kieran's finger too, so come on. So Grace turns to Nicole and basically says that it is just a game, and she's like, I don't care. And I'm like, but you do, Nicole, because that's why your leg is shaking so hard that you literally start to drill a hole with your heel into the wooden floor, like seriously. So it's the girls' turn this time. So Harriet's heartbeat raised for Ronnie, Matilda's heartbeat raised for Sean, Uma's for Will, Mimi's was for Connor, but I wasn't bothered at all, because he knows there's nothing in it at the end of the day. So Connor was saying it's because I bounced my ass in your face, innit? And that's probably what it was. So they had a laugh and a joke about it, and like, yeah, that's how you should take it, because there's going to be other factors as what makes a person's heart race beat. It ain't just because they fancy them or they like the look of them. It ain't that at all. So Nicole's beat for Kieran. And I have to say, at this point, Nicole was clear getting on my nerves. Like, literally getting on my nerves with her reactions. It was just doing my head in. So Jessie's heartbeat beat for Ronnie. So Ronnie's beat for her, and Jessie's beat for Ronnie. Harry literally sat there and said, oh, it's only a game. But I'm like, yeah, it's only a game when it all suits ya. And you're looking like you're not bothered by the results, but you're hella bothered by the results. Because you're going to start reading into it, as girls do. Start reading and overthinking into everything. So Gracie's basically heartbeat more for Ayo. And I was like, I didn't see that coming over even. Joe was like, what? And Grace was like, what? And I was just like, yeah. And then Joey started looking pissed. I said, don't go there, my love, because your heartbeat was raised more by Nicole, so come on now. So, as I've already said in my previous episode, Grace likes black men, and Joey can't compete with that at all. So then another text comes in, and then we're like, oh shit, what's coming? So now we know 2 bombshells are entering the villa, and they've picked Jess and Joey to go and have a date with Trey and Jesse. And Grace is like, oh, this is so boring. I said, yeah, it's boring now because someone's coming in to pick Joey now, and this person may well or may not well turn Joey's head, but we shall see how that goes, shall we? Yeah, so that is where that episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos, because I am on the road to 1k. And I'll be back across your screens very, very soon. Peace out.